is cracked, just a silver sliver wide to let out the secrets I'm keeping inside. The sheets are a desert, vast and so cold, since the story of us was so abruptly told. I'm watching my breath turn to mist in the room, a lonely white flower in a garden of gloom. The silence is biting, it's sharpening its teeth, while I'm shaking from everything hiding beneath. And there are shivers in the midnight air tonight. I'm reaching for warmth, but there's no one inside. It's the sting of the frost on a heart made of glass, watching the ghosts of our forever just pass. I'm wrapped in a blanket of why and not yet, in a cold-blooded midnight I'll never forget. I remember your sweater, the wool and the heat. Now I'm just a pulse in a house with no beat. The stars look like ice chips scattered above, frozen reminders of a dead winter love. I'm rubbing my hands just to feel like I'm real, but I've forgotten the way that a fire should feel. Is it the drought or the weight of the name that I whisper to shadows again and again? My skin is a map of the places you've been. Now I'm just a doorway where the winter walks in. Yeah, there are shivers in the midnight air tonight. I'm reaching for warmth, but there's no one inside. It's the sting of the frost on a heart made of glass, watching the ghost of our forever just pass. I'm wrapped in a blanket of why and not yet, in a cold-blooded midnight I'll never forget. Trembling hands, a hollowed-out chest, I'm putting the ghost of your memory to rest. But the shivers remain. I'm turning the dial, but the signal is thin. just white noise and shadows where you used to be in. The television's humming a gray, hollow tune, reflecting the glow of a dead winter moon. I'm reaching for voices in the rush of the air, but I'm only finding that you aren't there. It's the sound of a heart that's lost its way home, a rhythmic vibration of being alone. And I'm lost in the midnight static tonight, watching the ghost in the flicker of light. It's the crackle of sorry and the buzz of goodbye under a heavy and signalless sky. I'm a station that's broadcasted into the dark, searching for life, but I can't find a spark. I remember your laughter, it was crystal and clear. Now it's just feedback that's ringing in my ear. I'm tracing the wires that lead to the floor, tangled in memories of a closing door. The silence is grainy, it's rough on my skin as the cold electric winter walks in. Are you tuned in? Can you hear the regret through the storms of the things that we haven't said yet? Or is my frequency just a blur in your head? A ghost in the wires, a love that is lost in the midnight static tonight, watching the ghosts in the flicker light. It's the crackle of sorry and the buzz of goodbye under a heavy and signalless sky. I'm a station that's broadcasting into the dark, searching for life, but I can't find a spark. Coming in faint, breaking apart, just the white noise of a broken heart. The floorboards are cold and the shadows are long. I'm humming the ghost of our favorite song. The tea in my cup is as bitter as truth, a cold, dark reflection of wasted out youth. I'm staring at pictures where we used to glow before you decided you had to just go. The clock is a judge and the jury is in, striking the hour where the sorrows begin. And oh, it's the midnight hours, regret again, tracing the ifs and the should have beens. It's a heavy set silence, a stone in my chest, while the rest of the world is finally at rest. I'm counting the minutes, I'm chasing the light, but I'm trapped in the hollow of a permanent night. I reached for your hand in the middle of sleep, but the space beside me is empty and deep. I remember the promises carved in the dark. Now they're just ashes without any spark. The stars are like glass shards against the black sky, watching me swallow another goodbye. Was it something I said? Was it something I missed? A turn in the road, a ghost of a kiss. I'm rewriting the ending 1,000 times o'er, but I'm still standing here by a locked door. Chasing the light, but I'm trapped in the hollow of a permanent night. 1 o'clock's coming, but I'm still at 12, with a box full of memories on a dusty old shelf. Regret, just me in the hour. I'm driving toward a sunrise that's a lifetime away. The passenger seat is a canyon of cold, and I'm clutching a story that's already been told. I check the rear view, but the past is a blur of the girl that I was and the we that we were. The engine is humming low, steady whine under the weight of a star hollow sky. And I'm chasing midnight across the state line, trying to find where your heart stopped being mine. It's a race against shadows, a flight from the pain, through the neon reflection and the ghost of rain. I'm running from sorry, I'm running from us, into a future that's nothing but dust. I passed the diner where we had our first fight. It's just a flickering neon ghost in the night. I reach for the radio to drown out the sound of my own heavy breathing as the wheels go round. Funny how distance doesn't fix what is torn. It just leaves you shivering, waiting for more. Can I drive fast enough to leave it behind? The taste of your name and the ghost of your kind. Or am I just circling the brook of my grief, looking for exit, a moment's I'm chasing midnight across the state line, trying to find where your heart stopped being mine. It's a race against shadows, a flight from the pain, through the neon reflection and the ghost of the wrong. I'm running from sight, I'm running from us, into a future that's nothing but dust. Fuel's getting low, the stars are all gone, but I'm still not ready to face the dawn. Midnight, just me and the run. Mm-hmm. house is breathing, but I'm holding my breath, staring at the side of the bed that feels like death. The wind is tapping on the window glass, like it's asking how I let our forever pass. I'm sitting in the corner where the light doesn't reach, thinking of the lessons that only silence can teach. The clock is ticking, but the time isn't moving. I'm losing the rhythm of a heart that was improving, and I'm hearing midnight whispers in the hall, the ghost of your I love you against the wall. It's a soft, cruel murmur in the dead of the night, telling me stories of when we were right. I'm reaching for echoes, I'm chasing the sound of a love that's been buried 6 feet under the ground. I close my eyes just to see you again, but the vision is blurry, it's washed out by rain. The air is heavy with the things we didn't say, like a debt that I'm forced to forever repay. I find myself answering voices that aren't there, just a girl talking back to the cold, empty air. Are you whispering to somewhere far away? Do you regret the words that got in the way? Or is it just the static of a mind that's gone thin, a lonely dark place where the shadows walk in? The ghost of your I love you against the wall. It's a soft, cruel murmur in the dead of the night, telling me stories of when we were right. I'm reaching for echoes, I'm chasing the sound of a love that's been buried 6 feet under the ground. Softly now, don't say a word, it's the loudest goodbye I've ever heard. Midnight, just me and the whispers. I try to get up when the morning arrived, but the mattress is a canyon where I barely survived. The curtains are heavy, but they're nothing like this. This hollowed out canyon, this ghost of a kiss. I look in the mirror at the lines on my face, and I see a woman I can't quite replace, with the one who was laughing just a season ago, before the high water turned into the low. I'm dragging my spirit across the floor. like a shadow that doesn't belong anymore. And I'm carrying a heart that's heavy as a stone, sinking in a house that I used to call home. It's a weight in my ribs, it's a pull in my chest, a jagged edge secret that won't let me rest. I'm walking through water, I'm breathing in leak, thinking of all of the things that you said. Yeah, it's cold and it's solid, and I'm all alone with a heart that's as heavy as a stone. I went for a walk just to feel the fresh air, but I carry the burden of you everywhere. Every step is a struggle, every breath is a task. I'm wearing a smile like a porcelain mask, but the porcelain's cracking from the pressure inside. There's nowhere for a girl with a mountain to hide. I saw a bird flying, so light and so free, and I wondered if light is a thing I'll ever be. If I dropped it in the river, would it finally sink? Would the ripples wash away every thought that I think? Or would the current just stall and the water turn gray under the weight of the love that you threw away? That's as heavy as a stone. Just a rock in the middle of the sea, pulling at me, so heavy. Stone. Just stone. Left the window latched, I locked the front door tight. but the gray still found a way to seep into the night. The ceiling's looking heavy, like it's holding back the sea, and the air is getting thicker with the ghost of you and me. I'm reaching for the land, but the light is feeling thin, while the shadows start to gather where your laughter used to win. There's a dampness in the carpet, a chill inside the sheets, and the thunder's matching rhythm with my lonely heart retreats. I thought the storm stayed outside in the street, but the puddles are forming right under my feet. And there's land clouds in my bedroom tonight, drowning out the morning, swallowing the light. I'm shivering in a downpour that nobody can see, watching the memory of us wash away from me. The pillows are soaked and the walls are turning blue. I'm a girl in a storm, that's the shape of losing you. Yeah, the roof isn't leaking, but I'm drenched to the bone, with rain clouds in my bedroom, and I'm all alone. I tried to hang our pictures, but the frames are getting slick, and the happy ever after is a cruel and hollow trick. I see a lightning flash in the corner of my eye, but it's just the silver flicker of a permanent goodbye. The perfume on the dresser is fading in the mist, like the phantom of a feeling or a mouth I haven't kissed. In a lifetime of Sundays that were meant to be ours, now I'm just counting droplets and the slow passing hours. They say dry your eyes and the sun's gonna shine, but they don't see the weather in this hollow chest of mine. I'm building an ark out of cedar and grief, searching for a branch or a single green leaf. There's the rain clouds in my bedroom tonight, drowning out the morning, swallowing Try to keep the windows closed to hold the scent of you, but the morning's pushing in and the sky is turning blue. I'm sitting on the kitchen floor, the tiles are biting cold, staring at the coffee cup I'm far too tired to hold. They say that survival is a natural, easy thing, but they don't know the jagged edge that every inhale brings. I'm a diver in the deep end, looking for the light, trying to remember how to make my chest feel right. The air is thin and empty like a house without a soul, and I'm just the passenger who's lost all her control. And I'm missing you with every single breath I take, a quiet complication, a slow and steady ache. It's a rattle in my spirit, it's a pressure in my lungs, like a song of come back home that's tripping on my tongue. Every inhale is a question, every exhale is a sign. I'm suffocating slowly in your permanent goodbye. Yeah, the world keeps on spinning in its ordinary way, but I'm missing you with every breath I draw today. I went out for a walk just to prove that I was fine, but the oxygen is heavy like a glass of bitter wine. I see a couple laughing and I have to turn away, because the simple act of breathing feels like a price I have to pay for loving you so deeply, for giving you the air. Now I'm gasping at the shadows, finding nothing there. I'm a clock that's losing rhythm, I'm a fire burning low, in a body that's forgotten how to let the us go. 1, 2, count the seconds in the dark, searching for a flicker, searching for a spark, but my ribs are like a cage for a bird that cannot fly. I'm just learning how to live while I'm learning how to die. breathing, but you're not there. Breathe out, just empty air. Still missing you. I'm leaning out the window of the second-story room, watching the city lights flicker in the gloom. The wind is a razor, it's cutting through my shawl, but I'd rather feel the sting than feel nothing at all. I'm looking for a reason in the cracks of the street, for the way we drifted off and let the silence compete. I should have said I'm sorry, I should have held the door, but I'm just a woman counting shadows on the floor. The sky is a bruise that refuses to heal, and I'm choking on the weight of everything I feel. And it's just night air and cold regret, trying to wash away the things I can't forget. I'm breathing in the winter, I'm exhaling the white, under a moon that's a hole in the center of the sky. Every what if is a shiver, every maybe is a ghost. I'm haunted by the ghost of the man I love the most. Yeah, I'm standing on the edge of a love I haven't met, with nothing but the night air and cold regret. The neighbor's wind chime is a frantic, lonely sound, like 1,000 little secrets falling to the ground. I remember how you'd whistle when you walked up the path. Now the only thing I'm hearing is the winter's hollow laugh. I left your favorite book sitting open on the chair, but the pages are just turning in the empty, freezing air. I'm a pilot without a signal, a ship without a pier, just a girl who's finally realizing you aren't here. They say the morning brings a change, the light will make it right, but I'm terrified of what I'll see when I leave the dark of night, because the stars don't have to answer for the promises they break, but I'm the one who's drowning in the middle of the wake. Cause it's just night air and cold regret, trying to wash away cold regret. The wind is rising, but I'm staying still. I'll let the cold in. Maybe it'll kill the ache. Night air, so cold. I'm sitting on the carpet where the sunlight used to play, but the gold is turned to iron and the room is painted gray. I reach to move a picture, the one from that July, but it slipped right through my fingers like a final cold goodbye. Now there's glass across the hardwood, a million jagged stars, reflecting back a version of a life that isn't ours. I'm trying to pick the pieces, but the edges are too keen. I'm bleeding for a memory of a girl I haven't been. The smiles are still perfect behind the spiderweb cracks, but there's no way to put the shattered colors back. And I'm staring at the broken frames of us tonight, looking for the always in the dying of the light. We were captured in a moment, frozen in a kiss, but the border couldn't hold a love as fractured as this. Every shot is a sorry, every splinter is a lie, a mosaic of the reasons why we had to say goodbye. I'm holding on to ghost while the silver starts to rust in the broken frames of us, and the settling of the dust. I found the one of Christmas tucked behind the shelf. You're looking at the camera and I'm looking at yourself. The wooden grain is splintered, the backing's torn away like the foundation we built on that we let start to decay. I tried to tape the corners when the damage is the heart. I'm a curator of wreckage, a keeper of the fall, staring at the empty hooks still hanging on the wall. If I sweep it all away, is the history gone too? Or am I just a gallery of everything but you? The floor is like a minefield of the could have beens we swore, and I can't walk across it to the exit anymore. Yeah, I'm staring at the broken frames of us tonight, looking for the always in the dying of the light. We were captured in a moment, frozen in a kiss, but the border couldn't hold a love as fractured as this. Every shot is a sorry, every splinter is a lie. I'm no sick of the reasons why we had to say goodbye. I'm holding on to ghosts while the silver starts to rust in the broken frames of us, and the settling of the dust. Just glass and paper. The image is fading, but the cuts, they stay. Broken frames, just us. I see a flash of your jacket in a stranger's stride, a trick of the light where I've got nowhere to hide. I'm turning street corners, breathless and fast, trying to catch a glimpse of a ghost from the past. But it's just the wind playing games with my mind, leaving the reality a mile behind. Now I'm just chasing your shadow down a dead-end street, listening for the rhythm of your familiar feet. But the sun's going down and the silhouette's gone. I'm running through the dust just to find another dawn. It's a race I can't win, a ghost I can't hold, chasing your shadow in the bitter and the cold. I went back to the cafe, the one with the view. I sat in the dark where I used to sit with you. I saw your outline against the brick wall, but when I reached out there was nothing at all, just a it grief or a haunt to follow the things that you know that you want, but can never possess and can never reclaim? While I'm whispering secrets to a flickering flame, just a shame, just a blur in the gray. I'm chasing your shadow as it fades away. Yeah, I'm still running. Kept the hinges greased and the hallway clear, just in case the forever started sounding like fear. I didn't hang the pictures, I didn't plant the tree. I kept a suitcase waiting by the door for me. You were building a foundation, pouring out the stone, while I was calculating how to be alone. Oh, I'm standing in the hallway of the exit I built, looking back at the ruins The apology was sitting on the tip of my tongue, a simple white flag that I should have just swung. But I kept my jaw tight and my head held high, watching the warmth drain out of your eye. I chose to be right over being with you. Now I'm winning the war, but I'm black and I'm blue. Oh, I'm standing on the mountain of my own regret, the highest, coldest peak I've ever climbed yet. I traded your touch for a stubborn I'm fine, drawing a jagged and permanent line. It's a lonely victory, a hollowed out ride, losing you to my foolish pride. I heard the gravel crunch as you backed down the drive. The moment I realized I wasn't alive, without the I'm sorry I refused to let fall. Now I'm the queen of this empty hall. I polished the armor till it started to shine, but there's no one left to call it mine. Is it worth the silence? Is it worth the hour? Now that the damage is already done, I trade every correct and every told you so, to have back the heart that I forced to go. And I'm all alone, sitting on a cold and a golden throne. Yeah, I lost you to my pride. I found the reservation for that place in July, the one we never went to, and I still don't know why. The tickets in the drawer for the show in the fall are just faded yellow ghosts pinned against the wall. We had a calendar of Sundays and soon, but we ran out of oxygen by the middle of June. It's been a year of almost and nearly there. reaching for a hand in the cold night air. Almost a sorry, almost a stay, almost the courage to wash the gray away. We were a heartbeat for making it through. Now I'm just living in the almost of you. I almost called you when the first snow fell. I had the phone in my hand, casting a spell. But I stopped at the digits, I stopped at the tone, afraid of the sound of being fully alone. We were a yes that got caught in the throat, a sinking ship that almost stayed afloat. 12 months of shadows, 12 months of might. If I'd only held on a little more tight. But almost is a distance that's miles across. It's the heaviest version of a permanent loss. So close, but we never arrived. Just a year of almost that didn't survive. Yeah, we almost made it. I didn't wait until I reached the other side to let the gasoline and the matches collide. I was so afraid of what I left behind that I destroyed the only path I'm ever gonna find. I heard the timber snap and the ropes give way while I was halfway to a brand new day. Oh, I burned the bridge while I was still on it. A desperate heart and a fire I lit. Now I'm hanging off the edge of a jagged line, looking at a shore that's no longer mine. I'm trapped in the middle, in the smoke and the heat, with the ghost of our love beneath my feet. You were standing on the bank with your arms reached out, but I was deafened by the roar of my own doubt. I thought the flames would make me feel free, but they're just closing in on the rest of me. The water's cold and the drop is so steep, and I've got a promise but I didn't think I'd fall this far. It's falling, the sky is turning black, and there's no way over, and there's no way back. I burned it down. I typed the date we met into the prompt, the same 6 digits that I always want. But the little box just shakes its head and red, like a ghost of every single word we said. I'm locked outside the garden that we grew, and I don't know the secret code to you. I tried your mother's name and our first street, the places where our pulses used to meet, but the screen just stares back hollow and cold at a story that's no longer being told. Now it's just the password to your heart. I'm locked out in the cold and feeling tired. I'm guessing at the numbers and the signs. it failed. I check the weather like I'd see your name in the radar or the pouring rain. I left the porch light burning through the night, just in case you saw the yellow light. I'm building castles out of shifting sand, with a map of a promised hollow land. My friends all tell me I should let it go, but there's a stubborn seed I have to grow. It's a tiny spark inside a pitch black room, waiting for a flower that will never bloom. Because hope is a dangerous word to say. It's the poison that gets me through the day. It's the maybe that keeps me on my knees while I'm begging the sky for a mercy breeze. It's a beautiful light, jagged little glass that cuts me every time I let it pass. Yeah, hope is the heaviest thing I heard. It's a dangerous, beautiful word. I saw a car that looked just like your own, and for a second I wasn't so alone. My heart did a leap, then a heavy thud, like a sudden flood inside the mud. It's the cruelty of a what-if thought in the tangled web where I'm still caught. If I gave it up, if I let it die, would I finally have a clear blue sky? Or would the silence be too much to take without the dream of a lucky break? Because hope is a dangerous word to say. It's the poison that gets me through the day. It's the maybe that keeps me on my knees while I'm begging the sky for a mercy breeze. It's a beautiful light, jagged little glass that cuts me every time I let it pass. Yeah, hope is the heaviest thing I heard. It's a dangerous, beautiful word. I'm still waiting for the what if. I'm still holding to the edge of the cliff. Don't kill me I'm wearing the hoodie you left on the floor, the one with the coffee stain next to the door. It still smells like cedar and cold morning air, and the ghost of a person who's no longer there. I'm breathing in moments I didn't create, just a girl in a sweater that's 3 sizes late. I'm watching the movies you used to adore, but the jokes aren't funny, they're just like a chore. I'm living in shadows of choices you made, in a house where the colors are starting to fade. And it's a secondhand sadness, a borrowed out blue. I'm hurting for me, but I'm hurting for you. I'm wearing your memories like hand-me-down clothes, while I'm trying to hide what everyone knows, that I'm just a witness to a fire gone cold, and a story that's already been bought and sold. Yeah, it's just secondhand sadness. I found your old bookmark on page 84 of the book that you said you couldn't read anymore. I'm tracing the lines that you underlined twice, like a map to a heart that was made out of ice. I'm crying for reasons I can't quite explain, getting soaked in a storm of your personal rain. Is there anything left that is actually mine? Or am I just a branch on your broken down vine? I'm a mirror reflecting a tragedy's face, occupying a very familiar space. And it's a secondhand sadness, a borrowed out blue. I'm hurting for me, but I'm hurting for you. I'm wearing your memories like hand-me-down clothes, while I'm trying to hide what everyone knows, that I'm just a witness to a fire gone cold, in a story that's already been bought and sold. Yeah, it's just secondhand sadness. Your favorite song on the radio now, I'm singing along, but I don't know how to stop feeling the secondhand sadness. Heard you told our friends a brand new tale of how I was the storm and you the sail, how I held the match and watched the curtains burn, while you were just the victim at every turn. You've rewritten the pages and changed every line to make sure the fault was entirely mine. The ink is still wet on the lies that you tell, to keep your own conscience from feeling like hell. You've cast me in shadows and painted me cold, in a version of us that's been bought and been sold. So I'll be the villain in your story tonight, if it helps you to sleep in a house full of do you tell them about the nights that I stayed, or the thousands of times that I wasn't afraid to pick up the pieces you scattered like glass? No, you just let those memories quietly pass. It's easier living with a ghost you can hate than admitting you're the one who decided our fate. Go on and curse me, go on and lie, build up your pedestal into the sky, but the truth is a mirror you can't look into, because the villain was only a reflection of you. So I'll be the villain in your story tonight, if it helps you to sleep in a house full of light. I'll take all the blame and I'll wear every scar, if it keeps people seeing just how hollow you are. Yeah, I'll be the monster, the one who walked out, the name that you whisper with the shadow of doubt. If that's what it takes for you to survive, the fact that you bottled all of one life. Close the book, turn the key. I'll be the dark in your memory, the flame, if it sets you free. I dropped a penny for a miracle today, watched it tumble down the stones of gray. I close my eyes and whisper to the deep, the kind of secrets that a heart can't keep. But the water didn't ripple with a silver light, it just reflected back the coming of the night. I'm thirsty for a version of us that was true, before the gold we had started turning blue. I reached my hand in for a cooling drink, but I felt the cold before I had time to think. 'Cause there's a poison in the wishing well tonight, killing every dream I ever held so tight. I asked for forever and I got a goodbye. Now the surface is oily and the fountain is dry. Every prayer I set up comes falling back down in a circle of static where I'm starting to drown. Yeah, there's poison in the wishing well. I saw your reflection for a second in the moss, a bitter map of everything I've lost. The coins at the bottom are covered in rust, just the poison.